नमस्कार। हेल्थ फॉर ऑल के 40वें एपिसोड में आप सबका हार्दिक अभिनंदन। आज का एपिसोड महिलाओं को समर्पित है, इसलिए आज हम महिलाओं से जुड़े उन मुद्दों पर बात करेंगे जिस पर बहुत कम बातचीत होती है। मुद्दा भले ही महिलाओं का हो, पर इस पर उनके अधिकार बहुत सीमित हैं। उन पर या तो परिवार हावी है या समाज। आखिर ऐसा क्यों है? हम बात कर रहे हैं सेक्सुअल और रिप्रोडक्टिव हेल्थ की।
We start with this episode with yoga.
The topic today is yoga for health, right? I want to ask you and all the viewers who are watching us, tell me one reason why yoga is not for health. Okay? So because there is 3 realms in your body. One is your physical realm, one is your mental realm, and one is your spiritual or whatever you believe in. Okay, those 3 realms you improve. Now, if there is one exercise, if you call it, which actually touches all the 3 parts, it is just yoga. There is no other advanced exercise, anything which can tell me that yoga does not touch all the 3 realms. See, if you go to gym, yes, you look very good physically and you improve your muscle strength and stuff like that. But can you grow spiritually or can you grow mentally? There's a big question mark. But when you do yoga, and very, very beautiful thing about yoga is that you don't have to pay an effort to do it. I don't have to tell myself, oh, am I growing mentally? Am I growing spiritually? Am I growing physically? You will see the changes over a period of time. It's like the tortoise in the story of rabbit and tortoise, where they are having the race. So tortoise is the yoga and rabbit is the other form of exercises. Now, when it comes to yoga, what should I do every day in yoga? Okay, if you are actually doing physical form of exercise and just want to do pranayama and meditation, then I always suggest 5 pranayam, which is basically Nadi Shodhan pranayam, which is alternate breathing, Kapalbhati, which is actually forced expiration through the abdominal muscles, normal inspiration, forced expiration. Okay, how much time? Nadi Shodhan pranayam. Start with 2 to 5 minutes. Okay, start with 2 to 5 minutes, and then you can do more if you like it. Kapalbhati, you can do 100 breaths at a time, or you can do 30, 30, 30. Break it 3 cycles. Okay. Bastrika is basically sitting in Vajrasana and actually trying to go normal inspiration and forced expiration. Okay. So Bastrika, again, 20, 20, 20, 3 cycles. Okay, Bastrika, people with high BP should not do it. Okay, or if you are into menstruation, you should not do Bastrika. If you're pregnant, you should not do Bastrika. Okay, but other people can do it. So Bastrika is another one. Shitali pranayam. Again, high blood pressure can do this actually. Shitali pranayam is actually breathing from the mouth. So clenching your teeth and taking it out from the nose. And you do just 7 to 8 breaths of Shitali Pranayam. And Brahmari, which is basically for even for children. I always suggest, if you are not having concentration, if you lack, if you have a tendency to get sad fast, or you blame people more, just do Brahmari Pranayam. Okay, and 8 to 9 breaths and you are done. And relax. So people who have lung issue, heart issue, they should do Ujjayi Pranayam. Ujjayi Pranayam is the throat breathing. So this is the normal breath. When we do Ujjayi, you can actually hear it and feel it in the throat. So and you can actually do it for the upper lobe, middle lobe, and the lower lobe. For the lower lobe, you have to keep the hand just below your sternum, as in the rib cage. Okay, just below the rib cage. That's your lower lobe. That's your middle lobe at the axilla. Okay, so you breathe in and you breathe out. And for the upper lobe, you can actually keep the hands like this or like this. Okay. Always remember, in pranayama, your inspiration will be shorter and expiration will be more. So if you are breathing in for 4 counts, you're breathing out for 6 counts. Okay.
We now move on to the segment on working women, nutrition and parenting.
कि जॉइंट फैमिली सिस्टम में बच्चों का मेंटल और फिजिकल ग्रोथ बेहतर होता है, क्या ये सच है?
जॉइंट फैमिली सिस्टम में बच्चों का फिजिकल ग्रोथ तो नहीं, बट मैं ये जरूर कहूंगी कि मेंटल ग्रोथ डेफिनेटली एक एनवायरनमेंट में जहाँ पे आपको ह्यूमन बीइंग्स मिलेंगे, वहां पे आपका मेंटल ग्रोथ हमेशा बेटर रहेगा. It is always better than staying in isolation. Isolation kills. It is a factor which doesn't allow you to express. And expression के लिए हमें human beings चाहिए. And human beings के लिए इसीलिए joint family setup को थोड़ा powerful माना जाता है. And secondly, nuclear family में होते हुए ये नहीं है कि आपको कोई कमी आएगी. You can always work towards the physical and mental and emotional development of your child. आप उसके अच्छे दोस्तों का ग्रुप बनवा सकते हैं, आप उनके कजिन्स के साथ इंटरेक्शन करवा सकते हैं. So आपको एज अ पेरेंट इन अ न्यूक्लियर फैमिली प्रयास करना पड़ेगा, but it is always very possible that in a nuclear family you are always leading to a good physical and mental growth of your child.
Many sociologists have said that one way out to de-stress women and also save family life is to give the option of work from home at least 3 days in a week, or have work only 3 days in a week, so that enough time is dedicated to the family and children. What is your opinion of the 3-day week, which many people have said increases the productivity and increases the strength of the fabric of family life?
In a week we have 24 into 7 hours, but if we will get to work for like 40 hours per week, 40 hours, and that should be flexible timing, not for 3 days, not for 5 days, not for 6 days. I believe in giving flexible timing, and you just assign the task to any employee, men or women, and they will complete according to their capability. Maybe they can work the given assignment in just 4 hours. They will not take 40 hours also. I believe in assigning them a task-based some assignment and assigning them a time कि आप इसको कर लो, इस वीक में हमें चाहिए, चाहे वो किसी के लिए भी हो. ये स्ट्रेस लेवल को भी रिड्यूस करेगा. They can, जब स्ट्रेस लेवल नहीं होगा तो घर पे रहकर भी अगर हमारा दिमाग काम पे ही लगा है, 3 दिन का काम हमें करना है पर हमारे काम बाकी है, हमें ये सबमिट करना है असाइनमेंट. वी नीड सो मेनी थिंग. घर पर मेनी टाइम्स इट हैपेंस कि आप वो काम करना चाहते हो पर कर नहीं पाता क्योंकि बहुत सारी चीजें आते हैं. बट इफ यू आर सिटिंग इन अ ऑफिस और इन योर वर्क स्पेस फॉर डूइंग योर जॉब विदाउट एनी डिस्टर्बेंस और एनीथिंग, तो फिर आप अपने टास्क को ज्यादा दिल से कंप्लीट कर पाते.
So this hour-long session that is to come up will be on sexual and reproductive health, women's choices and behavioral change.
SRHR की जब बात होती है तो हम लोग जो कोट करते हैं या जो हम आंकड़े बताते हैं उनमें ज्यादातर अर्बन होता है. रूरल इंडिया की स्थिति बहुत ही खराब है और महिलाएं इस साइट को कैसे हैंडल करें, क्योंकि जो हमारा समाज है एक तरह से उनका एंटी वुमेन एटीट्यूड है. महिलाओं पे हावी होने, महिलाओं को डिक्टेट करने का एक जो हमारे यहाँ फैशन है, खास करके रूरल इंडिया में, ऐसे माहौल में महिलाएं क्या करें, कैसे इस राइट्स का उपयोग करें?
राइट, आई थिंक ये सिर्फ रूरल की प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, ये अर्बन की भी प्रॉब्लम है। और जब हम SRHR स्पेशली बिहेवियरल पर्सपेक्टिव से जब हम बात करते हैं, बहुत जरूरी है समझना कि आप SRHR को बिहेवियरल लेंस से किस तरीके से देख सकते हैं। और मैं एक फ्रेमवर्क का जिक्र करना चाहूंगी जिसको हम कैपेबिलिटी, अपॉर्चुनिटी एंड मोटिवेशन बोलते हैं। किसी भी प्रकार में अगर आपको एक्चुअली में चेंज बिहेवियर, because sexual and reproductive health is a lot to do with behavior change per se, and if you really have to bring that change, you have to understand it from a very holistic perspective of from the lens of capability, which means psychological capability. अक्सर हम सिर्फ नॉलेज पे रुक जाते हैं और हम बात करते हैं कि इसके बारे में लोगों को जानकारी नहीं है, बट जानकारी इज जस्ट एक पड़ाव उस पूरे स्पेक्ट्रम का या उस पूरे जर्नी का, जहाँ पे एक्चुअली में जानकारी से लेके वो एक्शन तक एक इंसान मूव करता है या एक कम्युनिटी मूव करती है। We talk about psychological capability, physical capability, we talk about opportunity. Opportunity मतलब दो लेंस से देखा जा सकता है इसको। एक सोशल अपॉर्चुनिटी की क्या हमारे पास सोशली वो सेफ स्पेसेस हैं जहाँ पे आप खुलकर सेक्सुअल एंड रिप्रोडक्टिव हेल्थ के बारे में बात कर सकते हैं। क्या हमारे पास वो सेफ इंटरैक्टिव स्पेसेस हैं? हेल्थ केयर प्रैक्टिशनर्स, आर दे प्रोवाइडिंग दैट सेफ स्पेस? इज दैट सेफ स्पेस अवेलेबल एट द कम्युनिटी लेवल? Also physical opportunities in terms of environmental context, in terms of resources being available, in terms of having access to services. Then we can look at the motivational factors, which is the belief system and the value system. And a lot of जो आप बोल रहे हैं कि औरतों को नीचे तबके में रखा जाता है, ये social norms का बहुत major role यहाँ पे social norms play करता है, and it's a very very complicated and complex piece to unpack as well. दो तरीके के नॉर्म्स हैं, एक जो सोसाइटी आपके ऊपर थोप रही है और दूसरी जो आपने इंटरनलाइज भी कर लिया है अपने आप को मानने के लिए, क्योंकि दिस इज हु आई एम। आपका एफिकेसी, आपका खुद का एजेंसी आप एग्जर्ट नहीं कर पा रहे बिकॉज ऑफ डिफरेंट कंस्ट्रक्ट। सो जब आप बिहेवियर को इन तीन लेंसेज से देखें, कैपेबिलिटी, अपॉर्चुनिटी एंड मोटिवेशन, और इसमें आप ये जोड़ें कि भाई ये कैपेबिलिटी, मोटिवेशन एंड अपॉर्चुनिटी तीन लेवल्स पे काम कर रही है, एक इंडिविजुअल के लेवल पे, एक सोसाइटी के लेवल पे और एक सिस्टम के लेवल पे, तब जाके आप एक्चुअली चेंज को अनपैक कर पाएंगे और चेंज को कंस्ट्रक्ट कर पाएंगे।
So in the real India, comprising of rural areas, do women have a right over their body, especially with regard to the Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act?
No, like we work with urban, we also work in an urban area and rural area, and when we discuss about the abortion right and all, so women don't have the information about this is legal. The first thing, whenever I ask, do you think abortion is legal, then say no, in India it's illegal. So they don't have any kind of knowledge it is legal. And I also have experience with some women who lives in urban area who are highly educated, but still they don't have information about these law. So first thing, this is the condition of urban. And when we go to the rural areas, abortion is still a big taboo in rural area. They believe this is not a good thing, this is like a killing, and they believe if we will go for the abortion, it will be I will be feels like a killer. So that's why in rural India, most of the women avoid the abortion. And in some families who wants the boy's child, they go for the bhrun kanya hatya. They go for to kill basically the fetus of a girl.
Feticide, yes.
So, yeah, and yeah, sometime I also visit in a center where the which is established by under the Medical Termination Act. And when I visited there, I found there are lots of urban women also came there, and they had a 6 or 7 month pregnancy, and they asked for the abortion. And sometimes we asked them why you are planning and all. They said our maternal their in-laws are not ready to had another girl child. So sometimes they also come for to choose boys and all. So we can't say MTP Act is very implementing in urban and rural area. For the MTP Act, it's not very implementing, and most of the women don't have information about it.
हमारे देश में एक और देखा गया है कि हाँ, यंग विमेन, कम उम्र की लड़कियों में PCOS और PCOD की शिकायत बहुत ज्यादा रहती है. इसका प्रिवेंशन क्या है और क्या ये उम्र के साथ अपने आप खत्म हो जाता है, क्योर हो जाता है?
So PCOS and PCOD बेसिकली एक लाइफस्टाइल डिसऑर्डर है, हार्मोनल डिसफंक्शन है, एंड अभी ये बहुत ज्यादा प्रिवेलेंट हो गया है. क्यों? क्योंकि हम लोगों की न्यूट्रिशन की समझ एब्सोल्युटली जीरो हो गई है. Most of the houses, most of the couples, they are individually living, like children are eating out 5 times in a week. All kind of junk is easily available at the tip of your finger. It takes only 10 minutes to deliver a ready-made hot pizza to you, and it doesn't charge even that much, you know. It is an effort to make nutritious food. आपको sprouts को भिगोना पड़ेगा, उसको grow करना पड़ेगा, उसके बाद आप खाएंगे. So, and that is not very tasty also. So nutrition and lifestyle. One thing is nutrition. Because of the lack of nutritional information, everybody is eating a lot of junk, which is easily available. Second part is lifestyle. आजकल ज्यादातर बच्चे, पहले हम लोग छोटे थे तो हम बहुत खेलते थे. There was like, you know, 1.5-2 hours in the evening when we used to play like anything. हमको मम्मियाँ पकड़ के खींच के लेके आती थी. But now the things have changed. Now mothers are forcing children to go out at least for 5 minutes. They are sitting with their laptops, they're sitting with their phones, they are not ready to move out of the bed. And this COVID 2.5 year has worsened the situation like anything. Most of the children are hooked to the computers. So lack of exercise and lack of nutritious food and easy availability of junk food. That is the reason why PCOS and PCOD is increasing at an alarming rate.
Post-marital depression, there is postnatal depression, there is postpartum depression. So what are the typical symptoms of that? Are they all same, or do they have a cycle which is different?
So when we refer to depression, the symptoms of depression are somewhat similar because it's mental illness. So in that way, the symptoms are similar. But when we are talking about different terms with respect to depression, like post-marital, postnatal, postpartum, these are the causative factors which we are, or the major life phases which have led on to depression we are talking about. So we cannot say that the symptoms would be very different. Of course, they can vary from person to person, but after these life changes, everyone can experience it in a very different way, each individual. But after like marriage, when a woman is supposed to move out of her parental house to a matrimonial house, she is supposed to, because marriage in general is a very patriarchal, has a very patriarchal value in our country. Even though a woman is independent, she has that burden that she has to run the whole household and everything. Yes, few people are still changing, but I would just leave that aside because there's a major chunk which is still finding it difficult to deal with these things, where women want to feel free with and have their agency. But when that is not happening, when a woman gets married, first of all, her attire gets changed. That is a major adjustment that she has to make. It has to look outwardly that she is married. So she adjusts to that. She has to leave her whole identity behind, like putting on sindoor or wearing jewelry and all of those things. That's a major change. And then you leave behind your comfort space, and you have to feel that sense of belongingness in your matrimonial house is so important. But obviously it takes a while to feel to be belonging to that house, and you feel alienated. That causes a lot of issues. And when all these issues are going on, the woman conceives, and during that period she is still already a victim of structural violence, and then she conceives, she becomes a mother. Again, this whole major change of life happens. And then we have seen that women fail to love their own child. They do not feel connected to that child.
because it can be attributed to so many things, that they were not happy in a marriage, or their life has changed, or they just do not feel that it is a part of their life, you know, it adds on to their burden. So all of these things bring about a lot of changes in their life, and structural violence and the cultural norms have a huge role to play in it, and that leads to a lot of mental illnesses, and depression is one of them, I would say.